Are you hot and sweaty, or are you cold like M in Oz? Well, it's been a hot day here in England, guys, and I've got a great show lined up for you all tonight. We're going to be taking a look at money, because money is something that's been in the news today with news of a recession and a depression here in England. So I'm going to be taking a look at your Zodiac money signs. What do you think of that, guys? I want you to start commenting, okay, with your star sign, and I'm going to tell you what you're like with money for that as well. The other thing, and the reason I'm still in yellow, is I couldn't find anything else yellow, and we're talking about happiness today, because when you've got a problem and when you worry, you've got to stay happy, because that's how you get out of it. We've also got the amazing Jan Bray to talk about grounding or earthing. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. In fact, I've been having a little read this week of Chat It's Fate, and there's none other than our own Jan Bray with a lovely double page spread. So just look how the Lengro family grow, guys. And you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to give you a theme tune. How about that? There we go. Look at the tech, guys. Just look at the tech. So let's have a look who's here. So we've got Donna Bennett-Smith. Good evening to you. We've got Helen Deans, and we've got somebody calling me on my phone, which we need to... That's it. Let's turn it off and give those to Richard. Oh, it's actually gone now. My whole screen's gone, so I'm not sure if you guys can see me. Oh, that's it. We had a phone call from Toby Payne in Spain, who's my friend who lives in Spain but is from England and works for Virgin Airlines. And I will call you tomorrow, Toby, so hopefully he won't call back. Let's get on to it. So let's have a look here. Let's go for, give me your star signs, guys. We're going to look at money, because money's in the news. Nobody's got enough of it. Let's take a tongue-in-cheek look at it. And look what Richard did for me. Look, can you please, and thank you. Let's have a look. Let's go to Helen third. And what I'm going to have to do is I want you, all of you who are Aquarians out there, I want you to either give me happy faces if you agree with what I'm saying about you, or sad faces if you don't. Let's see how good an astrologer I am, shall we? So all of you Aquarians with money, this is what you're like. You Aquarians, comment away. Here we go. So with Saturn as your ruling planet and Uranus as your co-ruler, you're pulled in two directions. You can talk yourself, Aquarius, in and out of a fortune. And you know that you've had this skill from a young age. You can be easily influenced to be reckless with money by friends. And you need to resist this, as you Aquarius have big plans for the future to save for. You live for the future, and you have to have the newest piece of tech on the market, okay? You Aquarians, let me know how I'm doing. Even Aquarius, if you're down to your last fiver, you'll still buy your friend a drink at the bar, if there's not lockdown. And that's your humble and caring nature coming out. Try to keep away from long-term service contracts. You tend not to read the fine print, and more often than not, sign blind, believing that adverts won't lead you too far from the straight and narrow. Come on, Aquarius. You learn pretty quickly and expensively that credit cards and store cards are not your best friend. You're unpredictable with your finances and you should invest more. So what other Aquarians have we got there? We've got famous Aquarians. Jennifer Aniston. Helen, did you know you're the same sign as Jennifer Aniston? Ed Sheeran, who both live like lavish lifestyles and want for nothing, but who keep money in the bank, and they're down to earth as well in a way that a lot of people don't know Aquarians can be. Do you like that? Should we have a look at that then? So let's have a look. Let's go to Sonia Lewis. Thank you. I'm wearing yellow for a bit of sunshine, and you wait till the amazing Jan Bray is here and you find out what she's talking about tonight. So Sonia Lewis, do we have any Cancerians? Well, Davina likes Jennifer Aniston. She's good, isn't she? She's a typical Aquarian. But we're going to look at Cancerians now with money. So for Cancerians, your ruling planet, the moon, can make you a little too cautious, but it can also push you to the other extreme too. Listen to this, Cancerians. When there's a full moon, you'll do what you want when you want. If there's a new moon, then you're great at thinking of successful ways to replenish your funds. Write down when each one occurs, and you can Google on the internet, guys, when the next full moon is or when the next new moon is. And Z, you should definitely be keeping a note of when the full moons and new moons are, taking into account the time-saving difference as well. So forewarned is forearmed for all of you Cancerians with money. As your sign is that of a natural mother, tend to your children first. Or Z, I can feel that now, I really can from you. You won't mind spending your last penny on their education, but you'll give yourself a hard time when you need home improvements. However, if close ones want money from you, then you're a pushover. Emotional blackmail is the way to both your heart and your head. You love to look after people who are less able than you. And I haven't actually met many Cancerians who sign away a large sum of their wages. And I have met a lot. I wonder why I wrote that down. Is it a typo? You do look after. They're great humanitarians, you Cancerians, great carers. You love charm, history, and beauty, and you'd rather buy an antique book than a new one. Is that true? Most of all, you love good company, but you're quite picky with your friends. You're capable of enjoying yourself without any money, though, and others are willing to pay to be in your company too. You have a generous nature, Cancers, and a sense of fun. That large mystery amount you spent will be when you bought yourself a drink and then decided to buy the whole bar one. Okay, is that familiar? You love culture, and if and when you're allowed to go on a holiday, then it will be somewhere a bit different or out the way. So famous Cancerians with money. Do you know any? George Michael, who fell out with his record company and lost money in order to keep his culture of his songwriting. That's a good example. And that's how emotional the Cancerians can get about their art. The other one is once the world's richest man, and not too far down the money stakes now, is the Sultan of Brunei. He's a true Cancerian as well. Let me have a look at our little schedule there. We've got 5 minutes before I'm going to bring on a guest. Shall we do another star sign? Because I want to know how you feel about this, how many of you connect with it. And you can, guys, as well, read the full article in Lengro magazine this week, which is at clairepetulengro.tv. And you can, of course, book for a one-to-one reading with me as well, to find out more on a personal level that's confidential between you and I as well. Shall we do Capricorns? What do you think? There's Angela Hewitt. I know Davina. I know you've got a few. So we'll do another one. Do you like these? Because the way that I was thinking tonight is, how can I help you guys? And because my expertise is as an astrologer, then I can use the stars to help you with the money problems. So let's look at where your Achilles heel is with money. How do you like that? Happiness and money. You can't buy happiness, can you? Let's have a look at Capricorns. Make sure I keep this in order. for tomorrow in case I need it. Lots of lives coming up, guys. I'm doing a joint live with Lara Wells tomorrow. It's not the ticketed one. We put that to one side as we've had so many requests. We're going to go a bit deeper with all of you. And remember, you can book with Lara or I. And that's tomorrow early evening. Then Monday evening, you've got me with Lee at 5 p.m. as well on all of our channels as well. So let's have a look at you, Capricorn. So even though you're slow to get your money out, you always get there in the end. You don't mean to be tight-fisted, but you don't like spending your money unnecessarily. Like your fellow earth signs of Taurus and Virgo, you'd far prefer to put your money into your home than a bank. You have a tendency to miss the big deals owing to the amount of time it can take you to make up your mind. Your ruling planet Saturn places more than a few restrictions on your life, Capricorn, but you do manage to keep your funds slowly but surely coming in. You have a natural affinity for the good life, and it can also mean expensive things. I know that's true of you Capricorns, but you have the wonderful talent of being able to tighten your belt and to make allowances. Romance can make you spend more than you intend, because when you're in love, you tend to take on some of the characteristics of the ones that you admire. I've seen this many times with you Capricorns, and that's fine so long as you don't end up signing your whole life away, as Capricorns can lose their sense of reality when love bites. You plan long-term, Capricorn, but you give the impression that you're living for the moment, and this is a talent that only you possess. Your home will be organized if you're a Capricorn, but in a way that you understand. However, you must try to stop looking at money so pessimistically, or you'll give yourself a heart attack from the stress of buying even a loaf of bread. Look at life and money head on, and you'll be fine, my friend. So these are all words that I've written over the years, and I adapt them for various things that I do. And when I was plotting the stars and I saw that finances would be really bad this week, and then we had the piece in the magazine I'd already prepared in advance, this one, and you guys were looking for help, I thought I'd put some tongue in cheek. So, famous Capricorns with money. Well, Jim Carrey, whose sense of humor made him his millions, and Kate Moss, whose good looks and attitude will see her with a gold card well into her old age. Now, let me tell you something quite funny, because Jim Carrey and also Kate Moss, Jim Carrey actually was going out with the Renee Zellweger, who was in Bridget Jones's Diary. And when I started writing books, she'd been working at Pan Macmillan, where I also was having my book done. And she worked there, and this man used to pick her up in a limousine outside, and the windows used to go all steamy. And it was Jim Carrey. He'd pick her up from work. Wasn't actually working there. She was pretending to work there to see what the job felt like. Do you know what I mean? Getting into the groove. Okay. So I think I've had another virtual knock at the door. There's not just one person, there's two. So I'm going to bring the first one on first, because I'm trying to get some order. Have you noticed? I would like to introduce you to Jan Bray, who is talking about grounding or earthing, and that's basically, when you walk barefoot to release energies. So let's bring the lady on herself.
Hi. Hello. Hello.
I still have to say, Jan, I am so proud of your double-page spread in Chat It's Fate.
Thank you.
Amazing. How have you been since all of this?
This feels very strange for me, because I'm not really an in the public kind of person, public eye, but actually I'm liking it. It's nice.
Can I just say, Jan, you've got a message here straight away from Davina, and she's also in the club. We love Davina, and she says, I adore Jan Bray.
Thank you.
And Davina only recently put a picture up. For a long time, she didn't want her face up. But look at her. She's absolutely stunning.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, she is. Yes.
So, people think when Richard takes off his shoes every time he's by the beach or on a bit of grass, they think he's a little bit crazy. But what we're really talking about is grounding or earthing, isn't it? Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes. Okay, so because everything I've learned has come from the fact that I've been poorly for quite a long time and the doctors weren't giving me the answers, they still aren't actually. So I do my own research, and this particular one, grounding or earthing, is just well, it's just so beneficial, and it makes so much sense because and every time we're poorly or we're ill, that the doctors can do blood tests to see how much inflammation you have in your body. Now, ideally, it should be between 1 and 10. Now, when I was in hospital with pneumonia, mine was 179. So they yeah, I know. So they do obviously give you medication to bring it down, but because I want to go down the natural route. So I started to do research, and I came across this book called Earthing, and it is just an absolute brilliant read. The guy that wrote it, he's a cable guy in America, so he's had lots to do with electricity and a lot, obviously everything you have in your house is needs to be grounded and earthed. So reading through the book, if you are feeling poorly or you're out of sorts, like Richard, you go to the beach, you take your shoes off, you walk around your garden on your grass, and what you're doing is you're releasing all the built up energy that is causing you illness, that's doing you no good at all. At the same time, you're receiving negative energies from the earth, which is a good thing, or I should say, you know, a good positive energies from the earth, which is a good thing, because it just helps to make you well. So if you think back to the 1960s with well, you weren't born then, but I was, when the hippies when the hippie community would walk around, flowers in their hair, bare feet, they were onto something. They really were. Because now we don't use leather shoes. How many of us have leather shoes? We can't afford it. So we have plastic, we have rubber, and that all helps to keep the inflammation in your body, and you need to release it. You need to let it go. And once you start doing that, so much better in every way.
Absolutely. And do you know something that's interesting that I've never thought of until you and I have been live right at this very moment? People nickname on the seafront, where I had my shop for 10 years, my daughters the barefoot gypsies, because they would never keep their shoes on down the seafront. And they just felt bad, and I've always allowed it. And so, you know, I never have shoes on unless I've got a pair of heels in my hand when I'm on a stage, or, you know, and I love having my shoes on. So when you talk about barefoot gypsies as well, and you talk about hippies, then we're really talking about people doing what you said. You know, we've got some questions for you, first of all. Davina would like to know, have you heard of shungite?
Shungite. I wear it all the time. Yeah, shungite. Yes, I have a stone for energy. So again, when I'm releasing all the bad energies and I'm bringing in new energies to me, this is brilliant. And actually, if I were to leave you now and get my water filter jug, it's full of shungite. There's I'll get it another time and show you. So yeah, it's full of shungites, and it just, again, so beneficial. So yeah, I never ever take it off. It's on me all the time, along with other different crystals. But yes, I have. Very beneficial.
Now, the other thing to do with it that I just want, you can have a think about that now. Sam Earle, our beauty expert, is a bit under the weather at the moment, and I know that most of you out there, are feeling no energy at the moment. So just on Sam's behalf tonight, I would like to say that her herb of the week is rosemary, and rosemary essential oils, guys, is really good for headaches, depression, Raynaud's disease. I don't know what that is.
Fingers and toes, cold.
Okay, but do not use if you have high blood pressure or you're epileptic. I mean, look at the support we've got. And I think the thing about rosemary is it's a good booster oil as well. So that's a tip from Sam that I'm giving on her behalf tonight as well. Yes, Jan, do you have relations in Ireland?
Not that I'm aware of. No. My family are from Bristol, so no. As far as I know, we don't.
And then let's have a look.
You're thinking Bray? Are you thinking Bray? Or I mean, my maiden name is Tyler, and I like to go by Jan Tyler Bray. Really, no, not that I'm aware of. Sorry, Patricia.
Oh,
where's the best place to buy this stone?
Yeah.
Well, in any of your gem shops, I actually bought mine online. I really can't remember. I've had it for so long, I can't remember where I got it. But again, it's a good to. It's a. Carry on, yeah.
Oh, Leslie Thomas.
Sorry, no. What I.
Leslie Thomas is a follower, but she also sells gemstones online, and all of my gemstones I buy from her. So just message me, guys, because Leslie Thomas is a friend of Lengro as well. So you know what I mean. She'll get you the best deals as well. And where can you get it? Okay, so that's it.
Where's the best place to stone? Okay, so as I've said, I wear it all the time. Next to every electrical device I have in my house. I've just leaned over to the TV. I have a piece beside me. It's beside the microwave. It's beside the telly. It's beside hi-fis, whatever. I have a piece because it helps to cancel out the bad vibes, if you like, and also I in my water. And it's also in my water filter jug. So it's everywhere in my house.
What did we do before Jan Bray? Because I know a lot of people in the club have been doing very good on reducing their sugar intake.
Okay, brilliant.
So, you really, really are. Carol Talon says it's red hot. I think, Jan, if you'd like to pick a question, I'm going to start to get a song ready because I'm not that confident in my tech. And then we're going to have a song at 1:30, guys. And then we've got somebody joining us, which is the Winging It, Singing It star that is Gemma. And we're going to carry on talking about happiness and money. Can you have the two separate, or we'll have a look? So, Jan, do pick a question and I'll do my thing.
Okay. Hello, Red Hot. What does that mean? I only see one question. I can't see any more, actually.
That's right, because I know now what I'm doing, guys. And what would you say? I tell you what, I do have an interesting thing that I will read you as well. I've got to find it from Laura Ann Renwick, and I'll do that when we've got a song on. What are your thoughts on money and happiness and the two and how they work?
Who, me, or you're asking?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, as far as you're concerned, I know that you're the most unmaterialistic person that I know, Jan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think I'm just going to hit play and take you off for a moment. Oops,
okay.
Oh, let's have a song. Or should we stay on, Jan? It's up to you.
Let there be you. Let there be me. Let there be oysters under the sea. Let there be wind, an occasional rain, chili con carne, and sparkling champagne. Let there be birds to sing in the trees. Someone to bless me whenever I sneeze. Let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove. But first of all, please, let there be love. Love. Let there be love. Love. So let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove. But first of all, please, let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be love. Let there be love.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
Jan, all the time now, don't I?
You know why he's singing that again, don't you? My dad's here. That is another Nat King Cole. That is another song that was played in my house all the time. That is so weird.
So I had a bit of a technical problem tonight in the fact, that my I couldn't download things on my laptop, and it was getting sent to a disc. So Laura Renwick saved my life, but it meant I couldn't download new songs that Mark, that Matthew had sent me, and so I had to go into the file. And so just before I pulled out anything, and it's again another one meant for you.
Another Nat King Cole for me, yeah.
On the person. Yeah. There you are. Evening.
Brilliant.
Oh my
Hi.
God.
Hi.
Hi everyone. Are you hot or not?
I might try and move us so we're together. Hold on.
Can I just say something? Apologies for my hair. And I just thought I would do this. Oh, hey there. I'm just gonna do this.
How's that? Do we like that?
Can you see that?
Wow.
That's you. Guys, can I just tell you that for years,
That's not fair.
It's the humidity.
You always look like that. Ever since the episode of Friends, every year that's you in the summer. So you could be a stunt double with that. Absolutely. Yeah. It is. It's melting hot, isn't it? So
Yes. Yeah.
It's very warm.
Everyone's saying hi, Jem. So I thought.
Oh, hold on. There's banging. There's banging from my angel upstairs.
Do you
Right
want to go
on
into?
cue. Right
Do you
on
want to
cue.
go to that angel, and we can continue?
That's right. I think David's going. But you know,
Okay.
that's where I'm at right now.
I'll have a word with him.
Yeah.
James, put the gun down. Guns are not toys. Are we at that stage? It really.
I mean, yeah, it's eventful. Like I said, well, actually, that's quite topical, really, that he's kicking off, because that's what my piece is about this week.
It is. So tell me and tell all of us how you are turning the terrible twos for Lengro readers into the terrific twos.
How are we turning the terrible twos into the terrific twos? Just changing the word, pretty much.
Did it work?
Because, do you know what? I don't think there is a magic spell, or, you know, there's no. Every child is different, firstly, and some will sail past the twos. That's the case. Some will sail past the twos, and some will have a tougher time. I mean, we're a bit up and down with him, and like I said, I've written in the article some of his lovely little adventures that we've been on with him. This time,
and a very, very annoying one.
Annoying one, because Casey wasn't annoying at all when she was 2.
No, Casey was perfect. Do you know what? I think the thing that I've learned after having 4 children and raising 6 is the thing that gets through it is a sense of humor.
Yeah, like I said, it's just literally you just got to turn it on its head, and just, I think, and I wrote at the end of the piece saying, just try and remember actually that you're creating strong, independent adults when they get there. Do you know what I mean? Letting them find their feet, and there won't be pushovers when they're older, and that's what I keep trying to tell myself anyway.
Exactly. And I think that, the other thing with children as well, when we do the back to school article for the 5th of September, we're going to be looking at children's star signs and horoscopes and how you can raise them to the best of their star sign. Lara Wells is in the house, but she's not backstage. We are live tomorrow night, and if you want a code, Lara, I can send you one right now. And do post what time we're live for more of a sort of reading session as well. Everyone's saying, hey girls, how are you? We were talking about I need to find a quote, so I need you to carry on while I find this quote from a chat we had. Let's have a look.
So we're talking happiness, aren't we, Jan? What 3 things makes you happy?
Family, actually. I've got to say all the time, family. I mean, I've recently, well, she's 18 months now, but I've got a grandson who's nearly 9 and a granddaughter of 18 months, and yeah, just absolutely adorable, the pair of them. She's just started walking and talking in the last probably 10 days, and she's just so cute. That's what makes me happy. It really does.
That's such a cute age. That's before they get to that lovely phase. The terrific.
True. Yes, true. Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time with them. My husband retires properly at Christmas, so even more so. Then we'll be able to take them out, and just love being with family. It's everything.
Yeah. My mum. I think my mum always says it's much more fun being the grandmother than being the mother.
You've got more time. I think that's what it is. I mean, when you're a mum, you've got to work and you've got to juggle it all together. When you're a nanny, you don't.
You get to have the fun time as well, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, you do. Yeah. And
well, you earn it. And every mother has earned that, I think. That's what I'm learning. We're going through those tough times, and one day that will be repaid to you when you are watching your children go through it.
Yeah, there is that. We often say, oh well, just like a mother.
Oh my god, I get that all the time, because
do you?
Katie is she's just my child, and you just go, well, what can I do? What can I say? Nothing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have them any other way, would you? You wouldn't, because when you see your grandchildren doing things that your own children have done, it's just lovely. It is. It's lovely. You wouldn't have it any other way.
Just give me the sass now because I'm talking about them.
It's feeling a little child's hand in yours when it's smaller and you can protect them.
Yeah.
I did actually ask, Lara, I've sent you a code. It looks like Lara Wells is going to be dropping in now for a virtual cup of tea as well.
And Nana's just said, Nana's here now, watching.
Oh, so
hi, Mum.
I can't see the comments. My comments are frozen, so I'm a bit.
Hey girls. Hey girls, that's what we've got. Hey girls.
Hey, and Mummy's put some hearts, so she's watching tonight.
Hi, Nana.
For some reason, I can't see the latest comments. You might.
That's okay. It's lots of family. Anything else? What else? The rest of you, so you lot, tell us out there. What are your three things to make you happy? What brings you happiness? What about you, Claire?
Well, I've actually got somebody else's here. As you know, my tarot designer, the beautiful Laura Ann Renwick. I said about happiness, and she said, let's have a look. Where's it gone?
Slick, so smooth, so smooth.
Money can't buy happiness, but I'd rather cry in a Ferrari. Oh no, that was on the price track. No, sorry, wrong one.
No, okay. Not me.
She said, true happiness begins the moment you learn to love yourself.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, that is true.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. This is a welcome distraction for me, honestly. How are you all this evening?
Are you losing your mind, Laura?
Losing my mind. Oh,
So
no.
what we've got going on tonight is we've been looking about at the fact that money at the moment, we've seen on the news, recession, depression, all that sort of thing. We're talking about can money buy you happiness? And people's looks. So today in the magazine, I did an article about star signs and money, but Jan has been talking about grounding or earthing, walking barefoot to release your energies as well. And I know Lara loves all that, and she's got acres to do it in, haven't you?
I've got acres. In fact, I did a live the other day, right? Took them down to the stream, and of course, I forgot I'd been chucking it down the rain, and I had to crawl under a tree that had fallen over, and then I went down the banking, right? And of course, like half of me went in the mud down there. I didn't even see it. It was like all disguised and all the, the grass that had overgrown. But while we're talking about, hello, Davina, how are you? Good to see you. While we're talking about, you've got to read what I've put in Lengro this week, right? I have touched on the sexuality side of having money, right? And feeling free as women, right, to express ourselves in that way. Could it be linked to the freedom of receiving money, right? And if we're blocked in that way, do you think it might actually block receiving the money and go a long way to explain the cash flow issues that we have?
Yeah.
So,
and the funny thing is, we get our issues in advance, and I had already chosen to put a money article in there, and you also put a money related one. And then in the news today, we see what's going on with the economy. I'm talking about happiness.
Yeah, the biggest recession, isn't it? It's officially the biggest recession.
Yeah. I've got a little challenge. You've missed me, and we haven't been live for so long, and you hate it without me. Let's tell everyone how to be happy without money, please.
Happy without money? Well, it's simple. What do you reckon, girls? Simplifying life, isn't it? It's detachment. Yeah. I think from attaching to the things we think we should have, right? Which are all the messages that society are sending to us, perhaps. Like we don't have the next best phone. The kids have got to have the best trainers. And I've got 5 kids like Claire, got a little bit of a big family, So I was lucky mainly, that they didn't, always want like the Nike, like the brand, the top brands and stuff. Or if you're smart, this is where we can kind of fall down as women. We're being smart, we think, right, we'll look for the bargains, we'll look for the sites that'll sell the best for the less. But you know what? Further down the line, it comes back to bite you on the bum, right? Because that's like telling ourselves we're not worth it as well, right? When you're constantly
finding a balance, isn't it?
If you think and you feel like that, more importantly, that it's great, isn't it, to have a bargain? It kind of invokes the hunter skills within us, right? It's quite an achievement and a feedback, isn't it? When you go for something and you go, oh, do you know, that was £100 there and I got it for $2.99. Right, you get that sense of achievement, and it's a false sense of achievement. And before you know it, you're hunting for the next thing. Yeah,
How do we deal with that low that I get when I've been out for one thing, and even if it's Poundland, and I come back with £30 worth, and then it's like, oh, really?
She's a nightmare for that. Can I just say, going into Poundland with Claire, it literally is like supermarket sweep.
It is. I have got one child like this. She was like, and specifically, I could nail it down specifically here. Chocolate, right? Chocolate.
Sweet,
she came back, didn't you, Claire? And she sent me pictures, right, on multiple platforms. Can I just tell you of the chocolate supermarket sweet that she had, right?
And notebooks and pens. Notebooks and pens.
Pens, that was another one. Yeah. Notebooks and pens, but when she ran, like everything was harmony until she ran out of chocolate. Oh, that was it. Back down. Right, there was no issue going out until we ran out of supplies. Wasn't that right, Claire?
Shall we not mention the fact that when I stayed with Lara, she had one hidden in her bedroom?
Yeah, this is not good news, is it?
I just think chocolate in her house.
Well, there you go. It's a bit bad when we're having to bloody hide it from everybody, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh my God. So, the fear thing, straight away, I was panicking in case I ran out of Terry's chocolate orange.
Can I ask you, like we're all women together, well, on the screen we are, and you guys out there as well. Something I had to sort of get off my mind for a lot of years. Is it wrong to hide chocolate from your children?
Would you believe
No, you're doing them a big favour.
I am. I'm doing them a favour.
You're doing them a favour, yeah.
I feel like, and I've got a problem in that I can't see the comments that are coming up.
Shall I read some? We've
Yeah,
had a few. There's a few saying walk in nature that brings some happiness. Someone else has put, Catherine Teasdale has put, getting outside, touching base with the family, and having a moment for yourself. And those are the 3 things that bring her happiness.
Yeah.
So
Somebody
that's really good. Nice things.
Absolutely. But Jan, if someone's never tried grounding before and they're sitting here at home watching this and they feel a bit embarrassed and a bit stupid, how advise they try it for the first time?
Well, I've been down to the coast. I've been down to Teignmouth. I don't know if you know it, but I've been down to Teignmouth this morning. And just take your shoes off, walk along the beach. It needs to be sand. It needs to be grass. If it's damp, even better, because water is a conductor of electricity. So just do it. And quickly, while we're on the subject of it still, in the winter time when you can't do that you can buy devices. And I know this sounds really weird, but you can buy one of these which has a plug on the end which goes into a socket, because all your sockets are grounded. They have rods outside your house. So you can put your feet on it while you're watching the telly, or you can put it in your bed so that while you're sleeping, you're grounding. And I've done this ever since I've been poorly. And as I said to Claire at the beginning, you're supposed to be between 1 and 10, and I was 179. I'm nowhere near that now. I'm probably about 10 now. So, I mean, it does sound weird, but it works.
What was amazing? That's what I rely on you for, Jan. The weird. That's what I rely on you for. The weird and magical.
Unusual, yes.
I think we need boys.
What's 179? What's that figure equate to?
When you're poorly, when you're ill, I had pneumonia, so they test you to see the inflammation levels within your body. So ideally, your inflammation levels are supposed to be between 1 and 10. And when I was poorly, were 179. So they gave me obviously medicine to get it down, but I don't like medicine. I look for everything alternative to bring it down. So grounding, walking on the earth is a way of releasing it. And even when I'm indoors, I still have nothing on my feet, because if you've got socks on and you've got carpet, you're making static electricity in your body. When you touch your car, you get don't you? So it's all these little tips that have helped me to, get better, really, basically.
Wow.
We're always barefoot in our house, aren't we, Case?
I'm barefoot now.
I'm barefoot now.
So am I, look. I'm just going to quickly show you.
Jan, what about in the sea? What about when you're walking and paddling in the sea?
Excellent. Yeah. So these are thermal images of people before and after they've grounded, and a thermal imaging camera, so you can see how much better you are when you've either grounded or whether you've put your feet on or slept with a grounding mat. I mean, there's science involved. I mean, I take things on trust, but it is nice if you have some scientific evidence to back it up, and these guys do.
So me just walking around like I have done all these years in the garden and things like that, and walking along the beach has helped me keep in good health.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And my echinacea.
Oh, echinacea.
Is that right? Is that all I need?
Yes. Yeah, probably. You see, the thing is, years ago, people had leather shoes. We can't afford leather shoes now. So leather also is, it lets the energy conduct. But when you've got plastic shoes, rubber shoes, it cuts you off. And so you've got no way of getting rid of this excess energy apart from going barefoot.
Well, cheers to being barefoot, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I get stressed, I walk and walk and walk and walk and walk, and that makes me feel better. So I have to sort of feel my feet, but I walk by the sea and I walk for as long as I can, and then the ideas come to me in my head. I've just invited John Stratton. I thought we needed some boys, Lara.
Oh, what, tonight?
Okay,
Well, I just
do you want to see what else we've got, Claire?
Pardon?
Do you want to see what else we've got? What other comments we've got?
I can't see any.
Well, what I want to know, right, is
Laura, go on,
as a
sorry.
medium, right, and meditation and doing grounding, is that the same type of grounding as what you're talking about? So my resistance with that is that it's again going out with self to do something, to get a piece of apparatus to do what we should be learning to do ourselves, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. So, not really. This is grounding to get rid of inflammation. When you're grounding for meditation, you're grounding so you're not kind of away with the fairies, if you like. You're grounding to kind of keep, I don't know, to keep here and now, if you like. It's a different
meditation. You're maybe assuming that meditation is up like and just being in space.
Yeah.
Meditation also is very visual and very so basically, if you visualized and really believed it for say and saw yourself in the gym for say like 30 minutes, right? With the protection, right? Your system will know
the benefits, don't you? Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, not that I'm coming up against you, but I really would love to know. So there's a difference. My system can ascertain the difference of grounding, properly meditating, as in guided visual, and actively be in that meditation. Would it be the same, or maybe we don't do it because we don't have maybe two things to look at. We don't maybe have a way of measuring in the body, perhaps. That's like you can't have a piece of apparatus.
Yeah. I would say it's a different thing. You're doing it for a different reason, and I suppose intent comes in then, doesn't it? So it's a different reason for trying to keep yourself well, as opposed to when you're meditating. So it would be a different intent, wouldn't it?
Well, absolutely. And going barefoot, of course, when you're on the ground, you're connected to the earth energies as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Doing meditation, right? You're literally connecting to Mother Earth with your feet. Right, and you meditate. So meditation really means to go into that, I call it a holding space, right, where you can activate a certain energy and then you can direct it in a certain way, right? If you're, learn to be empowered in that way. Okay, it's just because people look for something to be able to look at, like a phone, right? You can communicate phoning somebody, but the idea of communicating as a medium with somebody without anybody visually seeing what you're using is a bit of a stretch. And it could be the same with that as well. Introduce a bit of apparatus, you've got something to sell, introduce somebody that can tell you how to ground and cleanse your body. That's a different issue altogether.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but this, I suppose, this is when you can't go bare feet outside. Like in the winter time, when it's cold. So that's
great. I mean, right. So we have an option. That's great.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, in the summertime when as we said, I've never got shoes on unless I have to go out. I'm barefoot all the time, indoors, outdoors, whatever.
I got a good one.
Okay, go.
Everyone think, followers too, and all of you on here. Where is the strangest place you have been barefoot? Ooh. Where have you been? Come on, there must be some places where you've probably been barefoot where you shouldn't be barefoot.
Yeah, I have. There's many a function I've done at the Grosvenor House Hotel in London where the royal family have been present and Elton John, and they've not realised actually I've had a big skirt on and I've hitched my high heels up in the back of the skirt, and I'm walking around happily barefoot, but slightly shorter than they remembered. My feet don't last as much, but I love a high heel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the weirdest place I've been in barefoot is in my school playground when I was playing football.
Actually, you've been barefoot many times when you were younger. But we talk about happiness and we talk about the things that give us happiness. So At the moment, the sun is in Leo, okay, until August the 22nd. So that's a very proud sign to be in, very outgoing. But it also means that we're worrying too much about how our problems look to other people. And maybe we've got to take a step back and think about the sounds of nature, you know, the kind of grounding that you like, the kind of meditation that you like. For my mother, it was very much that when it rained at night, she used to love it because it reminded her of laying in a Romany gypsy caravan. I was say Romany gypsy caravan, but in her Romany gypsy caravan and hearing the rain on the rooftop and being at one with nature. And that was the sound my mum missed the most. So I'm looking forward to these thunderstorms that we've got, aren't you guys?
It's brewing. You can feel it. I feel it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm sitting opposite my doors that are open, and you can just see
it's hot.
it's bubbling away. It's ready to come, I think.
Yeah, it rained heavy here about half an hour ago.
Is it? Nice.
Yeah, very, very heavy. It's that big thundery raindrops.
Don't you love the smell
Yes.
of that
yeah.
hot summer rain? Oh, I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
meant to shower before the live, but I didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Can you just ask, can you ask a question to followers? Because I can't see the comments.
Yeah, so we've got one answer so far for the barefoot. Walking
Would you
along
rather-
Oxford Street. Jan Oakes said, walking along Oxford Street after a night out. We've all done that.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yes. Yeah,
But have
walking
you-
around Exeter with no shoes on, yeah.
She remembered it. Would you
Well,
rather go?
one of the weirdest, and actually I quite enjoyed it, I've got to say, is walking in a mud bath, right, barefooted. Right, when you're in the mud, you can feel the mud, like that warm, squelchy mud. I actually quite liked.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask two questions now. I'd like all of you watching to put whether you'd rather live in a hot country all the time or a cold country all the time. It can be one or the other. With this sweltering heat, which one are you going to choose? Let's have a look at the majority and also put your star sign as well, please. And then I'd like to ask a little question to Miss Lara Wells. Lara Wells, I would like to know what you've done that was naughty when you've been somewhere either posh or somewhere very work orientated that's in your mischievous monkey naughtiness that I know.
You don't even need to go further, right? My little Achilles heel is I like to steal the soaps.
The what? Soaps.
Soaps. Right? Soaps. I used to, and do you know what? Every now I can feel it creeping in, you know, when I go to a really, really posh place, right? And I see a beautifully wrapped soap, right? And then I had this gorgeous bowl in the sitting room where I put all the soaps in, right? So this gorgeous smell from the soaps all mixed in, right, with the wrappers. And just to see the extraordinary difference, like grand wrappers, the smell from it, I got quite a lift from that. I used to nick the soaps, right? What about you?
I used to collect soaps. So for
No, there you go. So you're a collector like me of the soaps. That's what it is.
Collector.
Karma bit me in the backside.
Oh
So
no.
I used to have all of these soaps, and my mother, every time she visited a foreign country, which was often, would bring me back the hotel soaps, like Lara, okay? And then the Body Shop ones would come, the ones that all smell amazing. So many I had. We moved, my mother and father bought a restaurant called Eva's, live jazz and seafood restaurant in the
Oh
States.
wow.
60 Ship Street, Brighton. So when we moved in, my mum wanted this restaurant to look amazing. And I was staying with my grandmother at the time while he sorted it out, working on the pier with my grandmother. And I came home 3 days later, and my mother had put all my soaps in the toilets. To
No.
make 24 hours it took for the lot to go, like 5 years worth of soap. Karma, that's karma.
I would say that was unnecessary.
Very angry, very angry. But I will, Laura, make you some homemade lavender soap that I make with fresh lavender in, because I've got packages to send up to absolutely everybody. Laura, what time are we on tomorrow?
Well, I was thinking probably, well, I don't know, because if John's coming on, right, his kids aren't in bed until about 8:15, 8:30, right, so we need to be later. But you normally have Thursday off, so I'm mindful of that as well, you know, because you here to do all your other work, obviously. And
I was told by everybody to rest. For the last couple of weeks, I haven't had the energy I should, because I've been working on the tarot cards, and I've done that. today I finished my voiceovers, which is why I'm croaky, for the horoscope lines you can all phone up. So I'm going to rest tomorrow and do the private clients I've got throughout the day, which are nice. And I'm very happy to come in live with you and John tomorrow night.
Oh, look. So, guys, we're going to be on tomorrow night. What time do you think is a good time before you flag?
Well, for me, no, I'll be all right tomorrow night because I'll be okay. Yeah, no, I'll be okay. Well,
okay. Well, I don't know. 7 o'clock came into mind, but I don't think John will be able to do that, right? So maybe go for later. I've been doing 9 o'clock live, so should we head for 9 o'clock?
It's a lovely. John likes to put the kids to bed. Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. Yeah.
She's optimistic today.
She is. So bombing.
What message of positivity and happiness and not to worry about money are we leaving everyone with?
I think people are much more aware of it, especially over lockdown the last few months. Think about what actually is really important to you, because then the happiness, I think, will follow. The things like family, like time, like getting out for those walks, like say going into nature, things like that. It's and I think people have become aware of just getting back to basics a little bit more and realising.
Yeah, we don't need half of what we got, do we? We don't. We can manage quite well without it. Yeah.
The more simple things in life now, actually, people are being aware of, and I think that is the key to happiness. That you don't need all the other craziness and the stuff.
Who was the gentleman? It was Steve Jobs, wasn't he? The speech on his deathbed about money. About health, the most expensive sick bay in the world.
Yeah.
We
don't need half of what we think we do.
In different ways. Cost happens in different ways. You know, Ben and I went for kind of like an afternoon tea. We had kind of like a late lunch and early dinner. For goodness sake. So this son always phones when I'm on a live. It's like he's got an automatic radar, right, for when I'm live. Right. So what I'm saying is that there we were in the sun under this canopy and that, having tea and some lunch, late lunch, early dinner. And you know what? I realised it's the first time for 6 months that we've been out to do that.
Yeah.
Nobody else there. It was just us two. It felt like we had the whole back outside ourselves. It was wonderful. And I really appreciated it. So I'm going to journal in the morning about gratitude and what I'm thankful for. It's definitely that. It's the small things in life, isn't it? Hi.
So I was looking for the quote, the Steve Jobs quote, to end everything on, but I can't actually find it. Who was on it anyway?
Casey, why don't you tell us? Because Casey always has a good, amazing look on life, doesn't she?
I think we should play that game. I think we should play that game with Lara. But Lara, you've got to promise you'll play it properly. I would like you. We're going to get her to send a text to somebody, and we have to agree what the text says. But it's got to say. It's got to be a strange message, like James Corden.
Well, I saw that program. I know that program, right? So basically, you get somebody else's phone, you type a message into it that's really weird, and send it to all their contacts. See how
Yeah, but when we did it the other week, we did it. So you just got to choose. You got to have one person that you think you will get a reply from.
So can I just say, in order to do this fairly, Lara, could you come up with a question? And Casey, could you take Mummy's phone off her and write the text you're going to write?
Right. Like I've booked myself in for a boob job and I can't take it because I've got to go on TV for something. So I donated it to you.
I don't think anyone can believe that of me.
Anybody think of a quote?
More than enough.
We're going to get her to send it. I can't see the comments to see what people would quote.
I can't.
No, there's lots of different things. Lots of people saying that they would rather live in a hot country.
So would I.
That is, there's a few saying cold country.
I would prefer to be a cold.
There does seem to be a general census that.
Can you see the star signs that like the hot countries?
Yes, we've got a hot Debbie Martin, a hot Capricorn.
Ooh. But then if I put her somewhere in Spain, I put her more She's got the ground to enjoy the sun in.
A cold Leo.
Cold Leo. Oh, okay. Looking for a change in
hot Aries and a hot Aquarius.
Oh,
2 hot Aries. 2 hot Aries. Lovely Pat Taylor is an Aries, and she said a hot country.
hot Aries would be trouble, let me tell you. Yeah.
And Jan Oakes also has said hot, and she's an Aries.
Ah.
Well, there we go. There's definitely a sense of hot Taurus as well. We've got there.
Are we going to send this text live? Have you thought of something, or have the followers said anything that we can get Gemma to send?
No.
And then we can look back on it tomorrow night on our live with John.
How many of you actually send text to anybody? The only person I send a text to is Claire.
Oh, no. You don't know what happened. You do not know what happened. Right. So I'm on a live, and then all of a sudden, Kate, the party organizer, makes me send a happy Pride, I love you.
That was.
Pick someone out my phone. Who do I send it to? Piper. I get this phone call at 11 o'clock at night. Who is that? And it was on Richard's phone that I did it. And Richard said, who is this? Richard said, who's this? She said, it's Piper. He said, hello, Piper. We didn't know anything about it. Then I had to go on and say, I'm really sorry. I was playing it. And she didn't understand because she hadn't seen the live. That's why it's so funny. I did it and I went first.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, why don't you just send a text to, is your husband at work? I need a bigger boat. No, something.
I always like the one saying, right, the thing about the body is, right, I've got the body, now where do you want me to hide it?
Would you do anything for me? Gemma is happily married with 2 children. I want you to send one text and one alone to your poor husband working tonight saying, I think I'm pregnant.
Me? He's sitting in the other room.
Is he not working? Oh,
he's watching us in the other room.
See, look,
It's
guys.
not going to work now.
Without Kate's party planner, these things just don't come together and work in time. But you can all see that I was trying for you. And if I could read the text, I would have done something that you all wanted as well. I just have to say tonight as well, that if you're somebody who's interested in our Grow Kind page and you have a family with autism or you have good information on it, then Kate is looking for contributors, people with good information. Please contact her or me on this page and let's grow Kind together, definitely. Right, I'm going to go now because I'm embarrassed about...
Oh. Yeah, I said he's in the other room. I just said he went up to check on James. And you were like, oh.
Yeah, and it's really thing on there. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. And Laura, are you live on your page in a bit?
I'm going to be live. Yeah, I've got to go and do a client just now, and then I'll be live after that for a little bit.
Right, so set your alarm, guys. Hop on over to Lara's page and make sure you follow all of our pages. That you get over to clairepetulengro.tv and read Lengro and stay cool. Okay, see you soon, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Bye.